get us up to speed with what the buzz is like. How does it compare to last year?
I think, well, you've already talked about autonomous driving. You're going to see much, much more of it. Auto Show West, that's really what a lot of the buzz is about. You're starting to see inklings of it. If the auto industry can manage to kind of get outside of the Donald Trump glare, that is.
Yeah.
The other thing that we're hearing a lot about this year is personal digital assistants.
Yeah.
The Alexas of the world. How far are they pushing into our lives, into our homes? How much more can they do? And how much of this rivalry between Amazon, really kind of the leader, they've come out with some comments in the last couple of days about how well they did at the end of 2016. Typical Amazon, haven't given us specific numbers other than to tell us how wonderful, how much demand there is out there. You know, the market for these assistants is in the next 5 years expected to rise into the tens of millions of people, a couple $1 billion in revenue. So it's a market that the tech industry recognizes they need to get behind. So I think you're going to see more and more from Amazon. You heard an announcement today from Whirlpool and Amazon. You're going to be able to control more of your home devices using your Alexa, your digital assistant. Zuckerberg stole headlines just the week before Christmas with his somewhat awkward Jarvis, Morgan Freeman voice digital assistant that he's programming. They talk about it as being kind of this hobby sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to see more from Facebook, not necessarily at CES, but you see more from Facebook in the coming weeks. Google, I think, is the real focus.
Google Home.
Google Home, how much are they going to use CES to try to steal Amazon's thunder?
Yeah, Michael, what about AI? Are you looking at it from your VC point of view? Are you looking at it from a CES point of view?
Of course I am. I mean, it's a very exciting field, no doubt. It's definitely one of the hot areas for investment right now. Look, there are two things that these devices do. First, Alexa and Google Home. First of all, they're the Trojan horse in your house, or at least the extremely exciting, positive, not problematic version of a Trojan horse in your house, in which they'll be the nerve center of your home. They want to control your whole house. The other thing is the AI technology itself. I think you were alluding to this with Facebook and Zuckerberg. It should live on your phone or on your watch or whatever it is. There's no reason that kind of processing power or the instructions, the commands, the responsiveness, the control you have over your life should live on a tower device inside your house. So on the one hand, they'll have a device inside your house that'll be kind of the nerve center of your home. On the other hand, that AI will live in your phone and your glasses, and you'll be able to control your life. So I think it's pretty exciting. There are privacy concerns, of course. As you know, these are always on devices, and there have already been cases emerging that might go all the way to the Supreme Court asking whether cops should be able to listen in on these devices while you're not really sure, thinking about their listening in, and whether the recordings that they make of you should be permanently housed in the cloud or if they should be automatically deleted. A very, very interesting thing. Great companies doing it, very responsible companies, but of course the edge is always receding, the horizon's always receding, and other people will do it too.
I mean, we're just talking about Facebook there, and one particular area they made forays into was purchasing Oculus. It was all about virtual reality.
Yes.
When will VR become the thing that dominates CES?
Thank you for asking about VR.
I mean, I'm not hearing a lot about the VR announcements to be on the lookout for.
Where did it go? Every year, like next year's the year for VR, and still it's not there. Why is that? It's because there's no content yet? Is it because the headset is still attached by wire to the wall? Why do you think?
I think it's still a little clunky. I think the experience isn't quite where you want it to be. I mean, we liked this idea of being able to live in a virtual world, being able to act, being able to experience things. But it's, I mean, I've tried it. I mean, we've all tried it, I think, and you realize, there's a lot, I can't quite reach that pole. That rope isn't quite working for me. The joystick, the handles in gaming, it's not quite there.
And it's still just gaming.
They're making.
There's also a little bit of science to drop on this conversation.
Right.
So when you have that device right in front of your eyes have to engage in something called vergence. Your eyes have to basically focus on a plane that's very close to your face. And it's not clear, so what that does is your eyes have to accommodate, and then you get a little bit nauseous after a certain amount of time. Yeah. It's not clear that it's overcomeable. We don't know yet. And so I hope so, because I'd love to be able to play all those games or have all those virtual experiences, but we're still waiting for that thing to happen. Of course, I think it will happen. VR will be very powerful, great companies investing in it, but VR just went away, right? It's on the shelf for a year.
Medicine is another area where we're starting to see some advances. We're starting to see people, exactly.
Yep.
We've got about a minute for this chat. I want to get from both of you the level of excitement vis-a-vis 2016. Tom, do you feel it's there? Is the je ne sais quoi of CES still prominent?
If you're an automaker, absolutely. I mean, really, it's kind of a cliche to talk about. I think the auto industry is really excited about. We haven't talked about TV. TVs are going to be big. TVs are hot. You know, you go to CES, you go to Las Vegas, you want to see these big screen TVs. We're going to see some interesting announcements. LG, Sony, Panasonic, Samsung, some interesting stuff there. But is it really setting the tech world on fire? It's hard for Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley is about software and services, and it's hard to devote a lot of space on the conference floor to something that's not a gadget.
But the software companies go there and sell stuff to those hardware guys. And so my peers are pretty excited about 2017, to answer your question. 2016, there was $40 billion of venture capital investment in the US, approximately, plus or minus. The year before, $60 billion. So big decline. We are hoping, Silicon Valley is rooting for a big CES and a big 2017 with a ramp up back of investment.